welcome back with another talk about anime with Decimo Primo. The anime that we're going to be talking about today is going to be one that a lot of people have talked about in multiple different time periods, both with great expectations and also uh, some disappointments. But the one I'm going to be talking about today is Sword Art Online. Sword Art Online to me is honestly, it's a fantastic anime. Don't get me wrong, I do have my faults with the anime. There's certain parts of it I don't like, but isn't that part of the experience? Isn't that part of the fandom? Truly immersing yourself, like caring about certain characters, caring about the way that they develop, the way they grow, and exactly where the story goes. I know there's constant, talks of how Naruto became Hokage, how Luffy's gonna find One Piece, how when Ichigo stops. It's something that goes about with every anime that we talk about, the overall growth and development of each character and where they go from here. Now sometimes that occurs and we don't agree with the artists, and in some parts of Sao, that's exactly how I feel. Like in Sao Gun Gale, like I don't like that entire segment. But overall, I see the depth that it adds to the anime. I see the characters that it adds to the anime. I see how those characters are now used in a later season, which I'm going to get to, and how kind of important and pivotal part of that Gun Gale season was for Kirito, the main character. By now, hopefully, everyone who's watched anime has looked at Sword Art Online, but I know that's not always the case. So the reason why I wanted to talk about Sword Art Online is because it's just a really cool idea for an anime. It combines both anime and also gaming, but it's more than that. It shows a true development. I feel that people who are huge fans of Tron and Tron Legacy should really check it out, simply because it has that similar feel. Not where it started, not necessarily, because how Sword Art Online starts is there's a new gaming system that comes out. I guess the other reason I wanted to bring this one up is because I know we have that anticipated launch of the PS5 and the Xbox One, Xbox Series X. But, excuse me, as I've continuously said, which if you haven't checked it out yet and you're watching my videos, definitely check out the AOE podcasts. It's by UGA affiliation. They talk great content. I'm not just saying that because I'm in most of them, but they really talk about some up and coming events. They talk about everything from gaming, anime. They also talk about political events every once in a while and just random things that are going on. And sometimes, especially in these unsettled times, it's like great to hear stuff like that. Only because, for the most part, they try to keep it real. I know when I'm on there, I try to keep it as real as possible. But things they go about how they go. But the reason I brought it up is because the next generation consoles, I've been saying they're fake news. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out, because they don't have pre-order dates. And honestly, I'm just mad because I can't pre-order my consoles. But the reason I bring those up is because Sword Art Online starts off with something called Nerve Gear, which is a new evolution in the consoles. It just comes out, and they're testing out this new game. And it's called Sword Art Online. And the main character, his name is Kirito. He did some of the tests, the beta tests, and he's really excited about the game launching, where he's able to play it with his friends and also people from all over the world. And it's just to me, it's a unique aspect that the way you have the character development, the way you have the growth, and honestly, where we end up now. And Sword Art Online has quite a few seasons. It's an anime truly that you have to pay attention to, and then it comes into Sword Art Online Alicization, and to me this season with Sword Art, it starts out rough. Like as I've said, another reason why I want it has a very unique aspect on how it's a video game and you're inside a video game. Now in the latest season of Sword Art, they've evolved it so much, and I'm trying to figure out a way to talk about it without talking about it, because I don't want to give it away to anybody who hasn't watched it. But ultimately, your main character goes through so much that basically he's broken and destroyed, and you're sitting by, biting your nails, waiting for the time that you know the character that you love is going to come back. The character that you enjoyed seeing grow throughout the aspects of the season, where you saw his relationships evolve, where you see everything that goes on, they lead it so hard that he's coming back. And the reason why I wanted to talk about it is because he's finally back. He's been back now for about 2 episodes, and he's done some crazy stuff that essentially no one but him really, I could do, and you'd be okay with it. It's kind of like Neo goes into the Matrix, and he's still Neo. So at the end of the day, you're rooting for him the whole time, but really just the development of the story that has come so far from Sword Art Online. It starts with a world that was created by a man and almost goes into where they're creating an entire separate entity. Hence, I said, if you like Tron and Tron Legacy, I definitely say to check out Sword Art Online, because they go into, like if you remember in Tron Legacy, if you haven't seen it, you should probably see it. It's a great movie as well. At the very end, well, not even at the very end, at the beginning, this is where you realize that there are beings that weren't created by the creator in that world anymore. There were beings that were created in that world by that world. So they have their full-on functioning free will, their free-on functioning own development. They have their own thoughts, their own feelings, their own actions. They're by all designation people. The only reason why they're not is because they're in a cyber universe. And that's exactly what ends up happening in Sword Art Online. And you see how people want to use it both for, well, you see where it starts off where people want to use it for evil. And your protagonist and your protagonist's friends want to allow this world to grow and develop on its own. Because, let's be honest, if you were playing your favorite game and all of a sudden you notice that these NPCs were developing their own thoughts, feelings, and actions, that's pretty cool. And having them being able to give out missions that the creator never thought of, it's a growth and development of a game beyond the creator's imagination. And when you go beyond the creator's imagination, anything is possible. And that's literally what occurs in Sword Art Online. And there are a lot of bumps, there are a lot of bruises, there's a lot of different things that go on with different characters. I mean, the fact that people are trapped in Sword Art Online and start killing each other, and that this group still exists in the latest season of Sword Art Online, and how they tie all of that together, and how they take your main character from day one and show his development and growth as a character and bring it into the latest season, and you see him and you feel the emotions that he's feeling, because they give you the flashbacks, they give you all the info that you need, and they allow you to truly see what he's going through and truly understand how come he feels the way he does and still carries on. I mean, who doesn't like a character who, in complete darkness, they're the ones who bring the light, right? Or at least for me, that's what I like. Also, side note, I know other people would argue that this may not be considered a harem anime. I argue all the way it's a harem anime as well. Just to let you guys know, only because the protagonist has, yes, he has one main woman that he has his eyes on. But that does not mean that other women do not choose to love him anyway, even though they know the love that they have may not be reciprocated. And I understand that's not like the traditional lines of a harem, but I mean, by all purposes, if he said, hey, let's do this thing, all of them will be down. So I'm going to classify it as that. Overall, Sword Art Online is just really the growth of characters in harsh times. In times, I mean, not that they're exactly what we have now, but we're not living in the best of times. Like, the best of things aren't happening every day that we wake up. I mean, we're still dealing with COVID-19 and things like that. And I think anime is a great escape from that and to go into another reality. And seeing how this anime really allowed itself to go down to the darkest depths I've ever seen a few animes go to, and for it to start to come out the way it's coming out, where you're able to see the beautiful picture that was designed from the very beginning, is fantastic. And I can't speak to it more or recommend it more to people because of it, because of that fact. And I think the creators should be very proud of themselves. I think the writers are fantastic, and the artwork and some of the fight scenes are probably some of the best fight scenes that you're gonna see in a lot of anime, because it's truly the combination between anime and gaming, and to me, those animes are probably the ones I enjoy most. Besides harems and sport. I mean, I've said I like all anime, so I mean, that's probably not fair. But overall, I wanted to speak on this because Kirito's back, and I wanted to make sure everybody knew, and that it's still going to be a great day, and there will be a great tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in. Check out my next video. I'm Decimo Primo. Like, follow, share. I mean, I know everyone says it on their videos, so I figured I'd say it too. If y'all have any questions, comments, please leave them below. I'd be more than happy to answer them and get in touch with you guys. Or if there's an anime that you want me to kind of review or look into, let me know that too. And y'all have a great day.